Salutations! My name is Phil Willis, aka JCServant, the Utah polygamist, with RPGamer.com, your source for news, reviews, podcasts, videos, and home to the best gaming community on the net. Check out everything we have to offer over at RPGamer.com. Become part of the conversation on our Discord server. We chat all day long. Find out more at rpgamer.com/discord. And today I've got hot tips for new hunters. This is a first of a series of videos I'll be doing to help get you going. If you're kind of feeling lost and you don't want to read the walls of text, the tutorial in Monster Hunter Rise is walls of text. And if you love reading, this game has really gone out of its way to help teach you things. But if you hate reading, like I do, as I prefer audiobooks, then this should, hopefully this series will help you out. Now, tip number one, before you ever get started, and you even turn on your Switch, every good hunter needs somebody beside them to watch their back during a dangerous hunt. Okay, and a Monster Hunter, those are, well, in all the Monster Hunter games up to this point, it was Palicos. Now you also got Palamutes. But I personally am a Palico person, so I recommend that you have your very own Palico, your real-life partner who's watching out for you during the hunt. Like Sir Busenheimer here. He's in the game, and he's right here to help us out today. He is my co-host, and he is my Palico. So here he is, and look at him. He is super excited to be a hot tip for new hunters. That's exactly right. But yes, he is here to help us out. Actually, Sir Busenheimer is actually better for master hunters because he adds more challenge to your fights when he jumps up in front of the television in the middle of a dangerous hunt. Isn't that right, Sir Busenheimer, right? You just keep life interesting. All right. I am recording this live on Twitch, and then this goes up on YouTube afterwards. So if you're watching this on YouTube and it looks like I'm talking to myself or something, I'm probably responding to a question in the Twitch channel. You can be part of all the streaming and conversations we do on Twitch by following us at twitch.com/rpgamer. So with all that being said, we're going to get into the fun in the tutorial here. So here we go. Here is my little hunter here, Rosette from Persona 4, and she's ready to go out and destroy stuff. So we're going to get you started. Today's video is just getting you started. You're a first star hunter. You've just booted up the game. You saw walls of text and you said, man, this is a lot of text. And you kept pressing that button. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. What should I do now? How should I get started? Okay, because there's even with the walls of text, they really don't point you in a good direction of how to really get going and get up and running quickly. When you first start off the game, you start off with a basic set of weapons. And one of the questions that always comes up, you get one of every weapon. There's 14 weapons in the game. And one question that always comes up is, Phil, what's a good weapon for beginning players? And of course, the answer everyone's is going to give you for the most part is try all 14 out and see what fits you. And that's a good piece of advice. But you want to get in and you want to get started as quickly as possible. And you're new, but you want to get in there so you can start playing multiplayer with your friends. So what's the fastest way to kind of get up and running? I recommend the sword and the shield. You go to your item box here, go to manage equipment, change your equipment, and then you can pick you'll have weapons in all these categories because you automatically start off with one of every weapon in the box. So you pick sword and shield here, and this is the very beginning sword and shield, the 50, I believe it is. It's the Kimura sword. Everything at the beginning of the game is Kimura sword and shield and whatever have you. So we're going to equip the Kimura sword. So I'm playing with the very beginning sword and shield that you be playing with, and the such. So grab your Kimura sword and shield. That's your beginning thing. All right, now, I could sit here and take you through the town and show you how to make potions and how to... No, we're just going to get into it because we want to get you up and running as quick as possible. The problem with the Kimura anything, whether it's the short sword, whatever, is it's only 50 power. And 50 power is not enough to do a really good hunt unless you like fighting a monster for 40 minutes. And that's an awful long time. We're going to go ahead and just take a village quest to get started. Our first goal is going to be to get some bones and ore so that we can build the next tier weapons before we start hunting things. Even small monsters can be tough with the beginning weapons. You'll beat them, but it'll take too long, right? So at the beginning, you're just going to have level 1 quest and an expedition tour. Expedition allows you to tour the land without worrying about having to hunt for big monsters. Then you've also got some of these quests like slay a bunch of little monsters that could, or collect some stuff. And usually I recommend one of those. We're out to collect ores and bones. Might as well pick up some mushrooms along the way and get paid to do it. So I'd recommend something like that. Go ahead and accept that quest. And we'll get out there to the Shrine Ruins. It's really easy. Press CR to depart and we'll get on our way. Let's read some hot tips from our chat channel while we're waiting for that to load. Hey, Haven Burning Soul, how's it going? Welcome to our hot tips recording. Chris says, tip number 1, don't buy your game from Best Buy and have it shipped by FedEx. Because poor Chris, I feel super bad. He has had to wait 2 extra days for his game. And tip number 2, don't get your COVID-19 vaccine the day after the game comes out, because you will, in fact, feel like crap. And then you're not going to be able to sit down and enjoy the game. All right. So once you've loaded into the game, again, I could go through all this other stuff and what's your camp and what can you do in camp and what's this blue thing up here. But again, we're going to get right into the goodness. We're going to get right into it. Okay, I will go into this blue thing right here. This is your supply box that gives you supplies, gives you some healing potions and some easy rations. The easy rations, we're just going to grab those and we'll go over what they are as we play along. But just grab those things out of the box and whatnot. That's me tonight. So are you suffering now from the COVID-19 kicking you in the butt, Chris, so you can't enjoy the game? Because I know Anna was going through that. Let me pull up my... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But thank you. Thank you for being part of the worldwide effort to stamp out COVID and making that sacrifice. I appreciate that. So we're going to get started. Okay, so we got our sword and shield. Now, my first hot tip, and there's not a lot of ways to get around this, but as you're going to want to go out and explore this world a bit. There's a lot to explore here. In order to fully explore the world, you need to get used to the wire bug. The wire bug is how you get up to high places. So our first set of tips are revolving around the wire bug and how to use it effectively, okay? Because what I'm going to show you later on requires the wire bug. It is how you get around. You can run around and do a lot on the map and discover a lot of the map without ever using the wire bug, but you will be missing out on a lot of good stuff that's up in those hills, up in those mountains, up in those hills. So the way you do the wire bug, and I hope I haven't messed with my default controls that it's any different for you or whatever have you, but you're going to hold down the ZL button and that brings up the targeting reticule. And you'll see a ZR there, and that's going to tell you to fire off your wire. If you press ZR, you fire off your wire bug. If it's close enough to catch on to something, it'll go to a targeting mark. If it's not, it'll turn to a bullseye. Okay? And you can use this to basically pull yourself up and forward. Okay? Now, you can't spam this too fast. At the bottom, you'll see there are cooldowns before those wire bugs return to you. So you can do 2 in a row by default, and then they have to recharge. So that's how that works, right? Now, in the middle of, while you're up in the air, and in old Monster Hunter games, let's just use this platform over here, your character, I think it was Monster Hunter 4, maybe it was Try that introduced this, but whenever you run off of a ledge, your character takes a short hop like that. Okay? Now, if you run off a ledge and your character takes a short hop, okay, no, that doesn't work the way I thought it was. Okay, here we go. You could then use the wire bug to really give yourself some distance, right? So practice that, which by the way, if you didn't know this, you hold down the right shoulder button to run. You could change that in the options. I use the right shoulder button. So we're going to run off of here. We do an auto hop and then zip line. Okay? And that gives you a higher, further jump. That's going to come in handy later on. Okay? On top of that, if you're already in the air, let's say because of a wire bug, if you're in the air because of a wire bug, you can hit the B button to do a hop in the air to increase the distance and the height of the maneuver. So here we go. Whee! All right, that's going to help me get across bigger chasms. Okay? So again, we're pressing ZL or ZL to bring up the reticule. We're pressing ZR to activate the wire bug. And then we're pressing B at the height of our jump to make it longer. Okay? But wait, there's more. Because now what you can do is you got 2 wire bugs, right? So what you can do is you can do this, do a hop in the air, do another wire bug, and do another hop. And now you've got a really long jump. Or a really high jump. Depends on how we're going to work this out, because we're going to combine this with wall jumping in a bit. But again, hold down the ZL, press ZR, and then B. Then ZL, ZR again, then B. And you will do a double long jump. But wait, there's more. Because we can, remember the ramp jump we showed you earlier, we can combine this all together. Do a ramp jump, do a wire bug, do a jump, do another wire bug, do another jump. And if you don't feel like Spider-Man by the end of that, you're dead inside. Now, all right. So that's a really handy way of getting across big chasms. Do a running jump, a wire bug, an air jump, another wire bug, and another air jump. Okay? So practice that. Practice that. Watch this video, rewind this video, and do it yourself following the directions I gave you. Now, you can wire bug to a wall to start a wall run. So you're going to see, well, that wasn't a really great example. Let's try that again. All right, so you'll see I'll run a little bit and do a wall run. You can run up, run to the side, but you only run for a little bit before you kick off. It is not a very long run. But you can pull yourself up to a ledge if you're close to it. You can wall run up to a ledge. Okay? That's definitely some bad air, right? We try. So again, zip to the wall, press forward, and you'll run up. If you're really close to the ledge, you'll run up and grab it. If you press to the right, you'll do a sideways wall jump, right? Now, we can kind of combine a couple of things here to get really high up on a mountain. For example, if we ZL and we start to run, and we're not quite there yet, we'll kick off automatically. But do the Z left, Z right, ZR, Z right, and you'll do your second wire bug to kind of get you up that big cliff. So if this is too big for one wire jump, which really it's not, I think I can just barely make it. Nope, I'll kick off. So it's too big for one bug to get me up there. And you'll know it because if you try it, your character will kick off. Okay, it's kind of irritating really sometimes. But what you want to do is when your character kicks off, get used to this, run up, your character's going to kick off, but then, whoop, there you go. See, you made it up taller. Very handy. Can I get to the top of that cat head? I think I can. Gonna get right there. Grab this bitter bug here.
Doing great.
All right, so that's probably too tall for one. We'll see. So we're going to do it again. Now, it is easy to overstep. And you'll see, oh, look, there's a mining ore right there at the top. By doing some quick jumps, I got to a mining ore. But you see how practicing your jumps can get you to the good loot. Now, one big difference between this and Monster Hunter World is that the ores and the bones are not all just lying around easy. There are a one here and there, and I'm going to show you where one of the easy bones are to get to. But early on, you need ores and bones to get to the second tier of weapons and armor, or second tier weapons at least. I think you do some armor too. And to gather those at any way of a decent pace, you need to find these little out-of-the-way ores and bone piles because, dang nabbit, they're just not lying around in the open like they were, like in Monster Hunter World. Within 5 seconds stepping on my base, I was tripping over this stuff. Here, you have to really look for it. So get used to jumping and exploring. Plan on spending at least half an hour to an hour just exploring this land and using your wire bug skills to see what you can find. But if you're impatient, and I get it, I'm about to give you the fastest way to build up your ores and your bones. I'm going to give you 2 different ways to do it. One is I just showed you how to get to the ores up here. So remember where that's at. It's right there next to your beginning camp. The funny thing is that's the first time I've seen it, so I'm not sure that's a random spawn or not. But, boy, yeah, it was just right there. Where's my camp at? Is it? It's around the corner here. So I'm going to zip over here. Whee! So here's my beginning camp. Like I said, you're going to learn to wire bug around. You're Spider-Man. So here's my beginning camp. There's the cat head right up there. I'll show you one more time how to get up there, right? I'm going to do it a little bit faster. We're going to ZR, kick off, ZL, ZR again, and get up here. Now, sometimes you won't make that, and you'll kick off and you go all the way back down, and it happens. It's a little frustrating sometimes, but you'll get used to it and you'll get better. You have to practice. I will say, do not get too frustrated if you don't get the wire bug right away, because it is a mechanic that takes practice and time. But once you get it, it is extremely satisfying. Okay, now getting to the top of the cat head, that's a little bit tougher. I think we can do it in one. We want to try to do this in one because doing a 2 jump to the top of the cat head, you're probably going to overshoot it more times than not. So one of our tips for doing a wire bug jump is make sure you give yourself some spacing back. Because if you're up too close, you're not going to get enough altitude with the wire bug. It doesn't shoot straight up very well. Okay, we're going to aim it as high as we can without losing the reticule there. And then try to make it up there. There we go. We didn't kick off to the back, so we didn't have to do the double hop. And there was the ore right in front of the cat ear. Okay, so that's tip number 1 for gathering. We're going to go back to the beginning camp here so you have a good point of reference. And we're going to show you where the first bone pile is at, the easiest bone pile. There's all kinds of stuff for you to explore and hide and find. I'm not only going to show you what you need to gear up quickly. So the first bone pile is up near number 3. All right? As you're going towards it, by the way, pick up the stuff along the way. You're going to see herbs lit up. You're going to see flowers. You're going to see bugs. Grab it all. Just grab it all. If it looks like you can pick it up, you should. You're going to need it later. Okay? All right. So we're headed over to number 3, where you see the number 3 on the map. And we're just going to pick up these flowers along the way. These are antidote herbs. We're going to pick up this bug along the way. Now, if you want to get there faster, you don't have to run like this. You can zip line, and that helps to speed you up, and then that goes on cooldown. But you can also ride your Palamute. You do have a Palamute. You made one at creation. Oh, let's pick up this dung over here. I'll tell you what the poo-poo is for in a later video. But you can ride your dog over to number 3. Use the I believe this is called the digital pad, and press left and right until you see your dog, and then press down. And you'll whistle. You can press up or down, and your character will get on your dog, and you'll be moving like the wind. And if you press the run button, you'll be moving even faster. You can, in fact, pick stuff up while you're on your dog as well, but it's just usually you'll be running so fast you're going to pass stuff up. And as you head towards number 3, as long as you keep going straight, you'll come right across these bones right here.
Anything I can use in here?
Okay. Now, if you're doing an expedition, you can actually quit the quest, so to speak, right here. You can turn it in by hitting the start. Oops. By hitting the home. What is it? Not the home button, but the. I keep hitting the home button. Hitting the plus button. I'm sorry, the plus button. And you can go down here to. It usually says complete quest or return from quest, and that will let you return back. Make sure you read the subtext, but there's an option there that will let you go back and keep all your stuff, and that's what you want. And in Expeditions, it just says complete quest. We have a quest here to collect a bunch of mushrooms, and even though we haven't collected them yet, we could stop here and keep the bones and ores we got, because that's our main goal. And we could just jump back in, take this quest again, and collect a whole bunch of ores and skeleton bones real quick. But I'm also going to show you where another pile is at that I personally like. Now, this is a little bit more advanced, using the wire bug skills we just showed you, but it builds on those skills, so I'd like to show this off. Okay, what you want to do is we're taking it left to 3. You can see on the mini-map I'm going from 3 to 4. Okay, we're going to go past the intersection. Actually, I think I passed up some honey here. Let's grab that honey. Honey's very good. I like doing this because even though this takes a couple of more minutes, you're going to get a lot of resources along the way. And honey is very important, so we do like to collect that honey right there to the north. Then you're going to, you look towards the left, you're going to see a big hill here that you're going to need to zip line onto. Wire bug. You can see I kicked off there, so I'll do another one to get me over the hump. And then I want to get on top of this hill next. This one's pretty tall. But if you're a wire bug expert, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. Okay. Grab the flame nuts right here because it's all about grabbing your nuts. I'm going to grab this fire beetle here. And now we need to get over to that ledge you see on the other side. All right, so we're going to use that whole running off technique and jump we showed you earlier on the ramp. Here we go. Oops. Make sure we're running off the grass. Wire bug up, and boom. Didn't even have to use a second wire bug. We got right up here. And here we're going to find a mining eye crop. Boom.
Making steady progress.
And that gives us some more ore. But wait, there's more. And this is why I like this little thing I like. So there's a wire bug right here I just picked up. And if you want to pick, you need to pick that guy up. You'll see now that I have 3 wire bugs lit up at the bottom, and that's going to be very helpful. I'm going to show you why. So reason number 1 is I need to get over to that ledge on the other side there. So I'm really going to have to be a good jumper here. I actually did it with 1. Didn't need all 3. Had a couple on backup if I needed it. But now I need to get up there. Ooh, ah. Now, if you talk to all the villagers, one of them gets you great wire bugs, and you can plant one right there. And a great wire bug basically pulls you up great distances in certain locations where you see these flowers, and you can create wire bug, and it'll take you right up there. But that's boring. And you probably rushed and didn't talk to all the NPCs, so you just got the 3 wire bugs. So we're going to do this the good old-fashioned way. We're going to zip, run up a bit, zip, run up a bit, zip. Boom. You get right up here. Look at that, right? That's some air. There we go. Now we're ready to run around the side here. And you're going to want to get on your Palamute for this next part, because it's going to get you around the mountain. We're going to run around the mountain, picking up everything along the way, because we like free stuff. And that's our quest item anyways. Grab that. Grab some mushrooms. Grab some toadstools. Grab the bug here. Grab the flowers here. Now, there's a bunch of vines right here. If you remember older Monster Hunter games, that usually meant you could climb up. But what a lot of people don't know, if they didn't read all the tutorials, is your dog can run up to, and he can do it a lot faster than you can. And that gets you right up here to this plateau that's on the mountain, where you're going to find another dragon bone pile. You're going to get some nitro shrooms, which are a little on the rare side. And you can ignore the flying raptors. Though I advise you kill them if you can, but with your level 1 weapon, it would take too long, so I ignore them. Grab the mining outcrop here.
The end is in sight.
Okay. And there we go. It's really, really that easy. Now, we still have the quest, because we did pick up the quest to gather certain mushrooms or whatever have you. And thankfully, new Monster Hunter Rise, or Rise as I like to call it, lights up the quest objectives for you on the map, so you don't have to wander around aimlessly wondering where this stuff is at. Just look for those big, bright green dots and work your way towards them, and you should be able to find your crafting objectives. But that is pretty much the hot tips for this first show. What I'm going to do with the next couple of minutes here is just show you some of it in action as I try to find these. What am I looking for? Unique mushrooms. One little tip here. I believe it's the Z. Nope, not that button. It's the L button. If you press down the L button, it zooms in on your map, which is kind of handy when you're trying to find, mushrooms. It's right to the north of me. Now, this game is very, very vertical, so I don't think that they could be up there. Let's see if we can jump up there, right? Oh, yes, they are. In fact, whoa, 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 whoa. And that's what happens when you overshoot. And that happens quite frequently and can throw you for a little bit of a loop. But yeah, there are some mushrooms up there. Up at the top there, you see a green bar. That's my health. The yellow bar is my stamina. My yellow bar's gotten really short. That's because my character's really hungry. So we're going to want to eat some of those rations we picked up from our box. Okay. You can access your item 2 ways. One is using the item wheel here, which you can customize this with the items you use the most to make them easy to access. This is the default, by the way. I've not really messed with this at all. The other way is the old school way, which involves also holding down the left shoulder button, and then pressing Y and A to scroll left and right through the items in your inventory that show up in the lower right-hand corner. Head on over to your easy rations. Let go of the left button, and you'll see there it says Y to eat your easy rations. So we'll go ahead and do that, and our stamina bar will get a little longer. Very handy. Unfortunately, it doesn't fill it up all the way. That's another lesson for another day of how to make your own rations. For now, we just want to get the rest of these mushrooms and in the quest. And they do not make these mushrooms super de-duper easy to get to. You're gonna have to work for them just a little bit. All right, so I'm pretty sure those mushrooms are up on that top corner, but this is really designed to really get you to learn how to use the wire bug. Oh, there we go. You will have to make a few attempts. You will take some getting used to. Don't get frustrated, because like I said, once you get it, it's really fun. And there are still times where I run off and overshoot and I start swearing because I fall all the way down. There's another mushroom somewhere up there.
Let's go.
I don't want to get on the dog. Just trying to see are those the mushrooms down there? Well, guess we're going to find out. All right, those are just blue mushrooms. There they are, right there.
What do we have here?
So that brings us up to 6 mushrooms. We need 2 more. And these spawn 1 to 2 each, so sometimes you get more mushrooms and less mushrooms. You know, it looks like that other mushroom's way up there. Wow. Well, let's see if my wire bug skills are up to this test. Now, you want to make sure, like on that ledge right there, just be careful. You don't want to overshoot it. You want to get it right to the bottom of that ledge, right around there, and then let yourself run up the little bit of extra distance so you don't go flying way over it. All right? That happens only too often. I don't know if I can do that with only 2 zip lines if I had the third. So the third wire bug, when you always start off with 2 wire bugs, and sometimes you'll find that third one, but it's only good for like 60 seconds or so. Get up there, we got up there. Look at that.
Anything I can use in here?
So that third one wears off, but you can find other wire bugs
Progress.
around. Unfortunately, that one didn't yield any of the unique mushrooms. So we'll have to go and find some more. We got some more on the map over there somewhere. Over yonder somewhere. You can aim your wire bug. If you have altitude and you aim the wire bug at the ground, it's a really good way to land at a particular piece of ground. There's the mushrooms right down there. I can see them. But, well, I see one over there, but there's probably one that's closer. Oh, there's one right there. Just looking at the map, figuring it out. Grab that mushroom colony. And there we go. Main objective complete. Okay. So, that ends my first hot tips video there as we return to the village. Well, let's go ahead and grab the rewards. In case you've never seen this reward screen before, you do want to wait. If you kill a monster, you got 60 seconds before the screen phases out. If you're on a collection quest, it's like 20 seconds. Or if you capture the monster, it's 20 seconds. You can use that extra time to pick up a few last-minute things. But let's go ahead and... You want to just go down here and take everything. There's never any time you don't want to take everything. I mean, you could sell it, but then you're going to regret stuff later. So we got extra rewards because we took a quest. We could have just done expedition, but doing the extra quest does give extra rewards. So I usually recommend that. But there's nothing wrong if you just want to get your bones as quick as possible to get that weapon. There's nothing wrong with just, you know, going out and going back in. Now, actually, before I leave, there is one other thing I want to show you. I want to show you what you do with those bones and those ores that you collect, right? Yay, Phil, I got the bones and the ores, and then you just kind of left me hanging. So let me just show you that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. So you want to come over here. Again, you probably know this if you read the tutorials, but if you just slam through it, this is the blacksmith over here. He makes new weapons and armors with whatever you pick up. You just want to go to forge weapon or upgrade weapon. Go to your sword and shield. Now, I have a lot of trees unlocked because I've been playing for a while, but when you first start off, you'll just have the bone tree, the Kimura tree, which is basically, it looks like your iron tree. And you can see here that with just 1 iron ore, I can take my weapon from 50 to 60. That's a DPS increase of 20% right there, just for getting the 1 ore off the cat's hat, coming back and upgrading my weapon.
Some hunters literally take
And then down here, the bone tree is usually the big first upgrade with 3 pieces of Monster Bone S. You can see I got 237 in the box. But as long as you can find a few of those out in the wild, you can actually make a weapon that's 90 attack sharpness. That's almost double right away. Boom, just like that. Now, this weapon doesn't have as much yellow bar left, which means it gets dull rather quickly. And when we do a hunt, we're going to show you exactly how that works. Okay? But then with some other parts, you're able to get up to even 110. So, but it is a yellow weapon. Later on, you're going to want weapons with green sharpness because that yellow implies that there is a penalty to that number you see there. So, yellow sharpness means the weapon's kind of dull. But that at least gets you up and going with some quick weapons quickly. I think the bone tree by far. Oh, here's the ore tree, by the way. With 3 pieces of iron ore, you can have the hunter's knife here, which is an 80 attack, which is a little bit less than the bone tree, which is a 90 attack. But it does have a little bit more yellow, so it can get in a few more hits before it gets too dull. And it was the first one I took, and it's not too hard to upgrade to 100. So there we go. So that's our first show. If you're watching on YouTube, this will be a series, so there'll be a second video where we're going to go into hunting some small monsters. If you're watching on Twitch, please stay on the line. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to run the credits. I'll be right back. Thank you all so much, and I'll catch you all on the next episode.